What is up, my people? I got one thing to say to you. Brace yourselves. Winter is coming. No, wait, let's take two. Brace yourselves. New Year's resolutions are coming. Yeah, I know right now a lot of people are still thinking about Christmas, but we are like, today is what? We're roughly a little bit over 2 weeks away from the new year. And you know what that means. Like, your whole Twitter timeline is just gonna be full with pictures and posts saying,
New year, new me, or time for me to start hitting the gym, January 1st, I'm gonna get it.
which I can only imagine how those posts get made.
I think it's time for a new change. I was such a terrible person all of this year. I think I need to make an entirely new me. But it doesn't make any sense for me to just do this. I have to let everybody know, because what's the point of making a change if everybody doesn't know, right? Hit the selfie. Yeah, me. Post that on Twitter. New year, new me. Hashtag goals. Hashtag independent dude. Hashtag gamer dude. Hashtag hollaback. Hashtag retweet. Hashtag freestyle Fridays. Hashtag don't hate. Send.
On a personal level, I don't make New Year's resolutions, but once upon a time, I used to make New Year's resolutions, and I'm going to tell you guys the story of how I stopped making New Year's resolutions, and I hope it kind of makes sense. So, gather around the campfire, kids. Old man Kemizi's about to spin you a tale. I cannot do an old person's voice. Way back, once upon a time, there was a younger Kemizi before I leveled up. I used to make New Year's resolutions, but I would never keep any of them. And for example, my last New Year's resolution that I can remember was that I was gonna do all of my homework on time, no more procrastination. I'm sure you guys know how that went. But then I sort of started wondering, why is it that I don't keep any of these New Year's resolutions? And then I sort of played out the whole thing in my mind, and it was like, okay, so when I made the resolution, right, I would do nothing about this resolution until the new year came in. And then once the new year came in, I had this whole pressure on me now, because it's like every single time I get an assignment, I have to do it. And habits are kind of hard to break, and it takes a lot of effort, and also failure is a part of the road to success. But when you have this bar set that I am going to turn in every single homework on time, you know what happens when you actually slip up once? Yeah, I pretty much gave up. I was like, well, I messed up. There goes my whole New Year's resolution. I guess it's done. See you next year. Deuces. And that was really it. And I looked at it, and I looked back at it one year, and I was like, that doesn't work. If I really want to make a change, or if I really want to improve something about myself, what's stopping me from starting that right now? So I did a little bit of an experiment on myself with that. I was like, okay, I'm not going to make a New Year's resolution. I'm just going to make a resolution. Brand new concept. I'm going to trademark that. So I'm going to make a resolution to do the same thing, to turn in my homework on time, but I'm going to make it a little bit more realistic. And I'm going to set it to be, I need to turn in half of all of my assignments. Not turn in. I need to do them immediately, half of all of them, without procrastinating. And then from there, I'm going to do that for a little bit of time, then I'm going to step it up to doing 3/4, and then I'm going to step it up to doing all of them. And I did this, and it worked. I didn't do it perfectly. I messed up a lot when it came to that, but I stuck with it, and it actually benefited me in the long run. So I was like, you know what? Here's one last thing I'm gonna do for my New Year's resolution. I'm gonna make a New Year's resolution that I can keep. So as a gamer, I knew how to game the system. So what I did was, and this was way back, I may have been like 10 years old or something, 10, 11. I want to say like 11 years old at the time. I made my last New Year's resolution, which was to not make any more New Year's resolutions ever. And I don't mean to pop my own collar or nothing, but I've kept that resolution for, I'm bad at math, like 16 years now and going strong. And I have no intention of breaking that resolution. And that is what I came here to say to you, my friends. This isn't Spanish class, but I'm gonna hit you guys with some numbers. Let me hit you with some digits right now. Right? Statistically speaking, people who make New Year's resolutions versus people who just make regular goals are far more likely to fail at keeping these New Year's resolutions than they are to fail at making a regular goal. Crazy. I mean, I think it's like you're 200% more likely to succeed if you don't make a New Year's resolution. But don't believe me, I'm just some guy on the internet. You shouldn't believe everything that you hear on the internet without checking it yourself. In the wise words of Albert Einstein, don't believe everything that you read on the internet, bro. And I like to follow that up with another quote from the main man, Abraham Lincoln. President Abraham Lincoln himself, dab on the haters. Look it up. And I'm gonna give you guys a challenge right now, right? Instead of making a New Year's resolution and waiting for January the 1st to start working on it, just make a resolution, soon to be trademarked by yours truly, and come up with a realistic timeline for it and start working on that little by little. And you'd be surprised at how much progress you can make with that. That's my challenge to all of you out there on the internet right now. I know you can do it. I'm rooting for you. This random guy on the internet believes in you. There are so many good ideas that come out in the form of New Year's resolutions. So I am not saying at all to give up on those things, because so far I have heard a lot of resolutions, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that most of them have been very, very good resolutions. As long as you're not trying to take over the world or anything like that, then keep that resolution, work on that resolution, achieve that resolution. You feel me? That's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to get on here super early, you know, not procrastinate on this video, just to share a little bit of what's on my mind with you guys. So please, let me know what your resolution is in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out, and, you know, again, the wise words of Abraham Lincoln. This one's for the haters out there. Gotcha. Not quite. Peace out. Gather around the campfire, kids. Oh man, get easy about this. No, that sounds like a guy that has been just smoking for the last 200 years.